Okay, I'm going to try to make baguettes with our easiest bread recipe ever. And so I went out today to Sur La Table, which has a couple stores in Atlanta, and got this bread pan. And I think this will be perfect. It's like 130 for an actual finished pan, but I'm going to try this. So it's pretty substantial. It feels like it's got a non-stick coating. But the problem I had was I need a covered container or pan for it for most of the baking, and then I'll take it off at the very end. So I went to Walmart. I looked at several sources, but I went to Walmart and got two of these all-purpose baking pan, mainstay. And the nice thing was it's about 1.5 inches longer. I had a hard time getting, actually I haven't put it in there yet, so yeah, perfect. So this will be great, and I got two of them. So I'm going to use one as a top, and this looks almost exactly like the $130 thing that is I could have bought at Sur La Table. So what I want to do right now is to make this top so it doesn't slide around and slide off of there. So I've got an idea about how to do that, but I need to go get my tape measure, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my tape measure, and the way I want to do this is I'm going to make little bends in this. It has a nice little lip here, which means I can do some alterations. So this is 13.5, which means 6 3/4 will be the center. So I'm going to make just a little mark there, and on this one, 6 3/4 there. So I'm going to mark the centers of those, and I'm just going to take my pliers here, come in kind of here. I'm going to make this one bend up like that. I really should bend it. I'm going to try and bend it down on each side, so it makes a little bit of a ripple there. So just like that. So I've made a little bump right there. Thankfully this doesn't have to be too precise. Like that. And then, so that's going to be the bottom that the bread pan will sit in. And so now I need to make, when I flip it over, I want to make this one sit on there properly. So I'm going to try this by going down in an opposite way and kind of twisting these as I go down to make kind of a V shape there. I don't know if you can see that with the camera, but I've got that, and so alright, so I've got that one going up, I've got this one down, and I need to bend the top one more so it doesn't make it spread here. But that's basically the idea. It's going to key in there, and so it won't slide around. I'll do it on the other side, and this lid will not slide around now once I get it under. So what I'm going to do is make a little bit more aggressive effort here. Twist this. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing. But I just want to make sure it doesn't have to be tight. But this one has to be bigger than the bottom one, just so it can slip over it completely. Let's look at that and see what happens. Okay, so it's getting closer, and that may be enough, just enough to basically somewhat seal it. Yet I'm going to try and work on the whole pan there. So, but that's basically what I'll do. Do it on the other end, and we'll take a look at it in a little bit. Okay, so this is, I got both sides tweaked. I took the pliers and the top was a little bit too big, so I came back in here and took right next to the little dimple there, and I bent that back down so I could make the top one carefully, after several tries, make it fit tighter and tighter to the bottom little thing. So you can see how that sits in there, and both the other sides. So I mean, it doesn't make it completely locked in, but it wants to sit in there without, and then I cannot worry about it just easily sliding off. So that's going to be our baking pan, covered baking pan for the baguette. So the next thing is I've got about half an hour to go, and we'll bring the bread out to rest, and then I'll cut it up. Okay, so here I pulled the pan out. It's been preheating at 450, and I've divided the bread, and I've moistened my hands with oil too, because I think this may be a mess. So what I'm going to do is get these off of here and try to hold them as strings. A gooey mess like that. So we can get it off in one ribbon here. Actually, it stretches pretty well to the full length. I thought I'd have to pull it more. And then, so this dough has been in thirds, and we'll see what this looks like. That's going to be kind of it. And then we'll open up. Put my lid back on. And put it in the oven. I think I'm going to, this is normally 30 minutes to do it covered. I'm going to probably do it like 20 minutes or something like that. So, excuse me. Okay, this is after 20 minutes. I've got the baguettes in here. So we'll take a look and see if it's time. I just don't have any idea when they're smaller like this what is needed. Oh, those look pretty good. I don't know, it doesn't look like swollen up enough, but I'm gonna go another 10 minutes and do it just like it is for the bread. It looked a little bit wet still in there. Cover them up still. Top on. Okay. So we're gonna go another 10 minutes. Okay, I guess I'm getting a little impatient. It's maybe only about 5 more minutes now, but I think I'm going to take it out and uncover it, and then we'll just see what this does. And since this is basically an experiment in the first place, whoa, a lot of heat in there. Oh, that's okay. So now this is after 25 minutes with one removal from the oven, and we're going to go and see what comes of this. Okay, I'm using the extra 10 minutes, probably a little over 10 minutes of uncovered baking. I'm going to just see what we've got. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Wow. So there, may need a little assist. Maybe I'll get something that's not too abrasive here. Oh yeah, they just pop out. Kind of. I did oil this slightly. maybe not enough, but that may be a requirement here. I'll have to see what these are like. They seem real crispy on the outside, not terribly gigantic. I might cut these into 2 rather than 3 portions for baguettes out of at least the recipe that I'm using right now, the recipe quantities. And I will use, I think I'll oil these after they come out of the oven next time, rather than before I initially preheat them. This one is having a tough time. And this was the biggest loaf too, the fattest dough. But don't those look great? Wow. Incredible. Mini baguettes. So I'm going to try and get this out here too. Oh, this will work. Oh my gosh. That's it. This is the way to do it. This is a bonus segment with some information that I learned after that first time, and I wanted to let you know. One thing is a safety issue. When you remove this covered pan, when you take the top off the covered pan, which you can just pull out the tray in the oven and take the top off, there is a lot of steam in there, and of course the oven's at 450, so it's very hot and it can scald your hands. So I took it with just pot holders, but when it was in the oven like this, I went and tried to slide it over, and this will slide off to the side, but just be careful you don't open it toward yourself. Open it and you just pull it away out of the oven this way, and you'll avoid getting that scalding steam on your hands. That's one lesson. And then you'll notice in that video my bread was sticking. That was the very first time I used that bread. So I cleaned off the stuck bread. I soaked it and cleaned the tray off, and then seasoned it with olive oil and put it in the oven. Actually, with this as a drip pan, went in there and heated it up, I think 2 times before I actually used it. And then once I had preheated, when I put this in before actually making the bread, preheat this together and then bring it out, take the top off, and you set it beside here so it's very hot, and you've got your pieces of dough here. I went in there and drizzled more olive oil and just wiped it with a paper towel with olive oil just to be sure it's freshly seasoned. When it comes out, you just lift it off. There's absolutely no sticking, so that's great. So what you want to do is get a good seasoned finish on there, and then you'll have no issues with any kind of sticking there. And then the last thing I think I wanted to mention was about the timing. I have had this in an exceptionally warm room that I had a heater in, and it turns out the 4-hour rising time is a little flexible. This morning I took it out at 2.5 hours, and because it was rising so much, I didn't want to deplete the yeast, so I took it out then and put it in, and it seemed to work just fine. So, and then also I have used regular flour, not bread flour, and again, that seems, I haven't done a 1-to-1 taste test, but I don't notice any difference in the actual flavor of the bread. So those are some tips, and you should be good to go with this.